What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we're breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Hi, Sean.
Yo, what's happening?
Oh, not much. How you been?
Oh, I've been great. Been doing excellent.
Well, we had a week off for Memorial Day weekend Monday, so,
Yes.
you know, there should be a lot of catching up to do. What do you got for us?
Well, I got a lot then. If there should be a lot, then I have a lot for you. I mean, some pretty cool stuff has happened. We got some new machinery to work with here at work, and I'm really excited about that. It feels like a reinvention. We got a full-size skid steer now. We've got a new trailer to haul that John around on. Oh my God, it feels like one of those things that you get and then you're just like, oh yeah. Wow. I didn't know there was that many people here listening. It's amazing.
Everyone's really excited.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Okay. Crowd. Stop it. Jesus. Somebody found the sound effects. Love that. It's one of those things that already, it's been on site for one day. I don't even know how we got by for so long without it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Today we had pavers delivered to the job, 16 pallets.
Oh, dang.
16 pallets. And couldn't really, there was a lot of maneuvering that had to happen, so I had them just drop it in the driveway, and then throughout the day, I kind of maneuvered them around, put some in the backyard to stage them, condensed the pile a little bit so we can still work around site. Wouldn't have been able to do that before. And we would have had to break down each one of those pallets, and it would have been a nightmare. And we have been doing it for so long. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I got one other thing to piggyback off of what you said right before we started. Random thought popped into my head.
Okay.
You were talking about the boogers that you had in your nose.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Allergy season.
Yeah. Do you think, are we missing out by not, as adults, eating our own boogers? It's just, when you said that, it's like, okay, Max likes to do it.
Does he seem to enjoy it a lot?
Oh, yeah, he loves it. And I'm not sure if he just loves the taste or he loves the we get all like, you can't do that. And that, he likes that. But did society just kind of push that out of us? Because all kids eat their boogers.
I know. And why is that? Why is their first instinct to be like, I'm going to take this thing out of my nose and eat it? You know?
It's probably some sort of control thing. Like it's part of their body and they don't want to give it up.
Interesting.
I don't know.
This is making me a little nauseous, honestly.
Oh, perfect. Hopefully it's doing the same for our listeners. But I never thought about it. Maybe society has convinced us that they taste gross. Maybe they're really good.
You should try it. Get back to us. You got any right now? Do it live on air.
It's too ingrained in me that you're not supposed to do that I don't know if I can, but I'll see if I can come around to it this week and I'll report back if the opportunity strikes. But anyway, nice little sidebar there. So what do you got going on? What's new with you?
Oh gosh, what is it new? I feel like I haven't left my house in like a very long time. I have been making my backyard someplace that I want to be, and it's been so rewarding. And I gotta say, I took out a section of my yard to make a garden bed. I took that extra dirt, manually tilled a section of my lawn, and I seeded it. So I'm growing grass from seed, and it's grass now. And I don't think that I can't think of one thing in my life that I'm prouder of than growing that grass from seed. I watch it every day.
Pathetic.
I've watered it 1,000 times just to make sure it stays wet. I'm like, I have babied that little patch of my grass, and I'm so proud of it.
And that's your biggest accomplishment? That's what you're most proud of your whole life?
I want it to be on my gravestone.
Amazing.
It's quite patchy. It's not great, but It's the first time I've ever grown grass from seed, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's it comes from this little seed and then it sprouts up, and now it's grass.
Out of nowhere. It was dirt, and then the next day it was grass. It was crazy, but man,
yeah.
Everyone that's come over,
I make grass.
I make everybody look at it. Poor Pat has to deal with me talking about it constantly.
Did you tell him stay off of it? Don't run the mower over it yet.
Oh,
It's
well,
still just a baby.
I mean, I'm not an amateur. It's got a fence around it.
Oh, perfect. That seems excessive, but that's okay.
No, I have ducks.
I guess because the dogs.
The ducks, the dogs, everybody would have been in there, so it did need a fence. And it's worked, and it's like, man, God, am I proud of that thing.
You should
so
keep
that's
the
really
fence
all I've
around
got.
it and just see how lush you can make that tiny little patch. Be interesting.
I should, because the dogs are probably going to kill it, but man, it has been thrilling. Life is so different when you're in your mid to late 30s. This is what I got, and I am enjoying.
That is, I will agree with that at least. And to kind of piggyback off of that, hobbies.
Yeah. Oh, did you get one?
I think maybe.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if this is a hobby. Putzing around the yard.
Oh, putzing is wonderful.
That's a good hobby, right?
Putzing, piddling, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, just kind of doing stuff around the yard. Oh, skimming the pool. I love skimming the pool. Skimming the pool is so nice.
Yeah.
So nice to do. That's like, spring, summer, maybe a little bit of the fall. Just being outside, putzing around the yard, doing a little this, a little that. I've been loving it.
Now, is Max out there putzing with you, or is this a solitary putzing, like a meditative putzing?
The solitary putts would be much more meditative. Most of the time, Max is out there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bonding experience, so also good,
Yeah,
just different.
Absolutely, yeah. So, a little bit of solo putzing is nice, but family putzing is also pretty good. But I think that's my thing. Just doing stuff around the yard.
Putzing, yard guy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Pulling weeds out of rocks.
Love that.
Yeah. Like not out of rocks, but out of like a bed of rocks. Anyway, all right. Well, you got anything else that we got to catch up on here? Or should we get right into?
Did I tell you about the grass I'm growing? Did I tell you about that?
If you won't shut up about the grass, I swear to God. Speaking of grass, the new project that we just started,
best
by
grass
far,
ever.
oh my God, it is so lush and green.
And we are just
and
ruining
just destroying it. Yeah, destroying it. But
it really is like absolutely perfect.
It is, yeah. He's like, it finally this year it got there. It's really looking good. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to see this, but hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah,
as they say. So yeah.
All right. What else are we talking about this episode? What do you got?
This episode, I wanted to talk about some just really great interactions and experiences I've had with a couple companies that I've dealt with, whether it's in my personal life, professional. But I started thinking about it and I'm like, there's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of companies that do what we do. What makes us give that customer a great experience? And it made me reflect, well, what are some times that I had such a great experience that I really wanted to write a great review, or recommend them to somebody, or just be so ready to call them the next time that thing comes up again. So I thought that was a good thing to reflect on, see if we can pull some stuff out of that maybe we can do. And see if we can see if we can be that company.
Yeah.
Hopefully we already are a little bit, but we can always be better. We can always be better. So
a lot of our reviews on Facebook are fake crypto things.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
They're still doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't get what it is, but it's like, Miss Maria helped me win $40,000 with this crypto. Just click this link.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Anyway.
Not on our page. But reviews is something that we really don't push at all. And maybe we should. I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. But yeah, so I wanted to get into that. Did you think of some experiences that you've had that were quite positive?
I did think of one. When we initially started talking about this, you were saying it as like home improvement.
Okay, yeah, it could be
people.
anything though.
And I feel like all of we either have Pat do anything or his guys, or he's got a guy like, oh, I know my buddy so-and-so down the street. So it's not really like the same. We're not like hiring somebody. So I couldn't think of anything, but I did think of one example. So
okay.
You go ahead and tell me your examples, and then I'll tell you mine.
Okay, so when we were building this shop that I'm currently sitting in right now, needed garage doors. And I called two companies and got them off of Google, I think. Just, random search, no prior experience with either one of them. First one comes and, the guy just doesn't seem super interested, like just wasn't a great salesperson. Didn't have that great of experience. Next guy comes and, they had a ton of great reviews on Google and, made it look like this is a really big company. So the guy comes and it's the owner of the company. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. Okay. You're doing all the sales and stuff like that. And the price was great. The price was a lot better than the numbers the other guy was throwing out. And there was all these great reviews. So I said, all right, cool. Yeah, we'll go forward with this. So hire that company. They're a little shout out, Smoller Garage Doors. Hired them.
Smoller?
Smoller. Smolar. Yeah.
Okay.
They come out, and it turns out this small company. It's just the owner is an older gentleman, and then his son works with them, and it's just the two of them. They do all the install. So they were here doing the install, did a bang up job, did just a really thorough job. I was very happy with it, and the price was really good, and all of the reviews and everything led me to hire them. And just the whole experience was just really, really good. And I think there was a couple reasons for that. Obviously, number one, the price was good. And normally I would be a lot more leery of that, but it's not like they were like super cheap, but the price was really good. I would usually be a little bit more leery of that, but all these great reviews. So I'm like, all right, this is a good company. I'll hire these people. And they did an awesome job. I was so surprised that it was just the two of them that do all the installs. The dad does all the sales and installs, and they were just very responsive with the initial reach out, the initial inquiry, got back to me like right away, scheduled a time to come by. And the whole time, the system around what they were doing was just so robust. I forget. I remember I did ask them what was like the CRM that they used, because I was just so amazed that just this small company could do so much. So like when they scheduled the appointment, I got a confirmation text that I scheduled an appointment. It was for this day, and then got a reminder text like the day of, and then also got a text like, okay, Scott is leaving the last appointment and he is on his way to see you. So like the communication and all of that stuff was so thorough that led me to believe that it was going to be a bigger company. Like it just seemed like there was so much infrastructure around this purchase of garage doors. And then afterwards, get the doors installed. They worked great. They did a great job, nice and clean. The follow-up that they had with, email, text, stuff like that. Not too many where it was like, all right, enough now. But it was like, hey, if you had a good experience, please leave us a review. Here's a link to leave us a review. And they did all of this follow-up, and I happily wrote a really good review because I had an awesome experience. And that kind of, because I'm sitting there thinking like, how are, just two of them, they're doing all these installs. They had like 600 reviews on Google. Like 600, and they were all 5-star, which I've never seen before. So
that leads me to believe that some of them are fake.
Maybe, I don't know, but I read a bunch of them, and they didn't seem like fake ones. You can always spot those, but normally, and if you're gonna do fake ones, it's like you're trying to bury like the 50 bad ones that you got. There's no bad ones. There's no bad ones. So I was just so impressed with the system that they had built around the whole process. I was informed the whole time. They set clear expectations of timeline and cost and all of that. And there was no, excuses or this is going to cost more or, things that I thought were going to be included that weren't. It was just very smooth. They did a great job. And the communication throughout the whole thing was amazing. And I was so impressed that they were able to do that with just such a small company. So it kind of opens up my eyes to, maybe we need to do something like that. Get a CRM system that can do.
What were they using?
I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called like Home Service Pro, or it was some like generic sounding home service thing. I can reach out to them and ask them again. I think a lot of these have those type of capabilities, and on one hand, I had such a great experience with it. I thought it was just great, really, really well done. But they're also probably doing a lot more volume. He's probably doing a ton more sales calls, stuff like that. And the install is, installing 2 big garage doors only took them half a day. So they're doing a lot more projects. So there's probably much more need for that. But overall, I was just so impressed and happy with the service that about a month ago, the garage door on our house stopped working. And I called them back, or I actually texted them. He said, okay, I'm actually in your area. I'll stop by in a little bit. He must have put it in his CRM. I get a text. Scott is on his way for a service call or whatever. Comes in, knocks it out, fixes it. He's got everything done. Leaves, sends me an invoice. It's done.
Wow.
All in the same morning. I texted him probably 9 a.m. By 11, done. He was out of there. Garage door's fixed. Works beautifully. Everything's perfect.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then he sent me a link to do a review again. I did another one. I left another review because I was so impressed by it. So the question is, how can you create that kind of experience where people are going to want to leave a great review? And whether that's a review on Google or Facebook or Yelp, or it's you give that experience that they're going to want to go and tell their friends that, you need a garage door person. Boom, I got a guy for you. 2 guys for you.
Yeah.
Father-son team. What could be better? What do you think of that?
Yeah. I think that, like you said, since it's more of like a one-off thing, I feel like that is where the value in that like persistence is. Because I feel like if we implemented something like that, maybe if we did some sort of like mailing list or something that we kept people updated when their job was in the future. But like once we get to a job, we're there every day. So I feel like if we were like texting these people in some kind of capacity, they'd be like, all right, enough. Like we see you every day. Like you're fine. But maybe if we did create some sort of mailing list where we're like, all right, we're moving to our next job. Your job's 3 jobs from now. Now you're 2 jobs from now, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe people would like that. But,
that's an interesting idea, an interesting spin on it. I like that.
But also people don't really know how long jobs take. So maybe that might lead to some sort of, we knocked that one out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that means you'll be here in 4 weeks. You're like, no, we got 2 2-month jobs in between now. It's going to be 2 or 4 months, not 4 weeks.
It'll be next year. Yeah. That's true. Obviously,
but when
all
it's like
these
a one-off
things are gonna be
service, like
different.
right. But when it's like a one-off service like that, when you don't have the trust of the people yet, I think that's a great thing. And it's like a call, or it's not a call, it's a text. It's like just a convenient, easy thing to look at. Like, oh, okay, cool, they're going to be here. Wow,
and you know that it's coming from like an automated thing, so you don't feel the need to like reply to it. It's just like, I'm just being kept up to date. I'm being informed, and this is great. So I think there are like, the thing that I think it comes down to is the communication. So that's something that I try to do with our jobs. Like you said, once we're there, and we don't leave until it's done. So, there's not a whole lot of like, hey, are you guys coming today? If we have a rain day or something, I'll text the homeowner and just say, hey, we have a rain day today. We'll be there tomorrow. But also trying to update them with our progress. They can walk outside and see what we've done, but what I've tried to do recently is just keep them up to date on what's going to be happening next. What can they look forward to? When are we going to get to the next milestone? That does, I think, a couple things. It keeps them invested. It keeps them interested. Keeps them informed, because, you might think as the professional that they can just walk outside and see what's happening. Like, oh yeah, obviously like that's going to be next. But, you're so close to it. You might not realize regular everyday client that doesn't have experience with this stuff might have no clue what's happening next or how long the next phase is going to take. So going out of your way to be over communicative, I think, is always a good thing. And it's something I've tried to do a lot more of lately. And I've noticed it have a couple benefits. I think the homeowners just enjoy being informed about what's happening. It gets them, more excited for the next milestone, like, hey, we're going to be putting down the decking or whatever that is. It also keeps them engaged. So if there is something that is, going to pop up, like they might have an idea that they wanted to change something, like, oh, we wanted to add speakers in here or something like that. Like, you're going to be in communication with them about what's happening next. And it's going to open up the opportunity for them to tell you about these things before it's an issue. Mm-hmm. So if it's definitely. They're thinking about, hey, we really want to do speakers in the ceiling. It's something I saw somewhere and I was thinking about that. If you don't let them know, hey, we're going to be putting up the ceiling next week, they might just forget about the speakers or whatever. And then the ceiling's up and they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I really wanted to do speakers. And now it's like, you don't want to say, well, it's too late. Sorry. You want to try to figure something out, but it's a huge issue and it's a problem. And something like speakers, that example, it's really easy to do. All we need to do is run a couple wires. It's super simple. So if it's added at the right time, no problem whatsoever. They get what they want. It's a nice little just cherry on top of the project. And, and that has helped with those types of decisions, and also making sure that they are aware of any purchases that they need to make, like if they need to pick out a fan or a light or whatever. Just keeping them up to date and communicating when you're going to need these things keeps everybody on the same page. And they have a whole life to deal with, so they can easily forget, like, I forgot to order that thing. Make sure that you're keeping them aware of what's happening next, and they'll stay on top of it. You'll stay on top of it, and it's just going to make everything go smoother, and everybody's going to be happier.
For sure. And not to pivot away from that, but I did want to go back to the review thing.
Okay.
Now, you loved these people. Great job.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have left a review for them had they not asked?
No.
Yeah.
Probably.
I feel like that is the key. If you want reviews, you have to ask. Like, if you want to make that a part of your business, you have to ask. And you have to make it as easy as possible. You have to give them like a QR code or a link to click or like do this right now kind of thing,
Yeah, while
because even if they had just even if while they were there, just like, hey man, when you get a chance, can you leave us a review? Probably not going to do it.
Yeah,
it sounds like they gave you a link to click.
Yeah,
and then you did it. So
through text and through email, and the prompt, I think, is that's the critical point of this.
Yeah.
And from what I kind of gathered and my experience on the other end of this CRM that they have, all of this stuff is automated, so they're making it super easy on themselves. It's not something that they have to track and, did this person leave a review? It's just going to send you a reminder. And it was like, I got one like that day, and then maybe like a week later, I got another reminder. Hey, if you had a good experience, leave us a review. If there's any issues, give us a call. And, without that prompt, I probably wouldn't have left a review. So,
yeah,
something to think about there.
For sure.
Tell people what you want from them. Be the alpha.
Yep.
Be the alpha dog. You know what I'm saying?
Assert your dominance, yes.
Exactly. Isn't that what, isn't that what podcasts are about now?
Yes.
Alpha men,
alpha
mentality.
Males. Yeah, yep.
You're weak.
Don't be a beta.
Don't be a beta. How can you be an alpha if there's no betas? You know
Somebody's
what I mean?
got to be a beta. Yeah.
Somebody's got to be a beta, Whatever. All right. Anyway, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Prompt people. Prompt them to do what you want. Tell them what action you want them to take. Because even if they do want to leave a review, it's like, do I do it on Facebook? Do I do it on Google? Do I do it on Yelp? All this kind of stuff. Direct them to which one you prefer.
Yeah.
And I always think Google is the one that I tend to look at the most. So as a consumer, like when I go to buy something, so that's what I would recommend. You know, if you're trying to gather reviews, I would say Google.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's naturally like the landing page of everything, so I would say Google as well, you know?
Yeah.
That makes most sense.
What I just said, yeah.
Well, I was just thinking of like the alternatives, like we get Facebook reviews sometimes, and a lot of times they're just like fake stuff that I have to delete, but
Right.
I don't think that's where, I mean, maybe I'm an outlier, but I don't think I ever look at like Facebook reviews.
Yeah, I can't think of doing that too often as either. So maybe on Marketplace.
But
I mean, definitely.
Oh, for the person? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for the seller review. Love Facebook. It's that might be a second hobby for me. Just perusing Marketplace. I love it.
Consider that a hobby for me as well.
I love it. The way that they do the algorithm or whatever.
Oh,
it's like
perfectly curated.
Oh, it's great. It's like, you know,
beautiful thing.
I was looking for trailers, so it's like mostly trailers. But then they're like every like 10th or 11th thing, let's throw in something else we think he might like. Yeah. It might be a chair. It might be a helicopter. You don't know what it is. That's the exciting part. You keep scrolling. It's like, what are they going to show me next?
Yeah.
I've only ever bought like 2 things off of there, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't really actually bought that much, but I'm on there every single day looking at stuff. And the best is because it gives you your for you, which is always obviously everything you could ever possibly want. And then there's also like a local option. And the local option, it tricks your brain into being like, it's so close. It's like right down the road.
It would be stupid if I didn't buy this.
So,
medieval knight suit. I need a coat of arms.
Yeah.
I need chainmail.
Definitely find that on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh,
like
for sure.
Instantly.
For sure.
I remember I was looking for, Pat wanted that golf video game thing console. What?
Yeah, Golden Tee.
Golden Tee. I was like, no way this is going to be on there. I found like a million of them. I was like, oh okay.
Yeah,
well, that was easier than I thought.
That's a prime Facebook thing.
Yeah.
You know, an old arcade game that like, you know, usually it's probably someone's spouse trying to make them get rid of it. You can't have all these arcade games in the basement anymore. It's the kids' rec room. You know.
Classic.
All right. Well, what experience do you have? And then I'll get to my next one. What do you got?
Oh, okay.
Let's pull out some good stuff here.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
this
is a little bit of a well, no, I guess it's still customer satisfaction, but like I said, we don't really hire that many home people because Pat's just got this like inventory of people that he's like, Randy from down the street, he's gonna stop by today. It's usually one of those situations when we have anything that needs fixing or whatever. But
Randy can do it all.
Huh?
I said Randy can do it all.
Randy's got it under control. Anywho,
hire Randy.
But I will say,
it'll be fine and dandy.
I do have home cleaners. And I've had them for a while, and they do a wonderful job. They make everything very easy, but because it's like a repetitive thing, it just kind of, goes by the wayside. I don't even think about it anymore. But the two things that this company does that I really love, and it's just a lady. I think she has maybe 7 employees or something. So it's not her always at my house, but somebody from her team, and blah blah blah. Anyway, still a small company. The 2 things that she does that I love. She texts me the night before that I have an appointment the next day, which is super helpful because sometimes I forget. And so it goes back to what you said. It's so nice to just have that little reminder. And I know I'm going to get it, so I don't even have to think about it. And then the second thing, which happened the other day, her girl was waiting for a ride or something. So she had a little bit of extra time. And she just went out of her way to clean my fridge. She could have just sat there and done nothing and waited for her ride. But she cleaned out, took everything out from the fridge, wiped everything down, and put it back. And that was just a little extra because she had the time, so she did it. And I was like, that's the stuff that really makes the difference. She could have very simply just sat there and waited for her ride. I would have been none the wiser. But the fact that that they went out of their way to do this thing, and it's they do everything. They do home organization, they'll do whatever you want. But I thought that was so nice. I've never hired them for that, but that I was like, that's the sign of a good company where it's still, it's a small company. It's not like they're crunching their time or whatever. like you lose that touch with those big companies, and I just thought that was really, really great. And maybe this is inspiring me to leave them some sort of review somewhere.
There you go. Yeah. Do your part.
Maybe that's what I
do your
should
part. Give back.
Yeah.
Going the extra mile.
Yeah, going the extra mile.
Going the extra mile. That's a really good one. That's one I think we at least try to do on all of our projects. I always have a little something that, like, you know, maybe have an idea around something that we just kind of know we're going to throw in. Like, I know that we're going to do it. I haven't told the client about it yet, and I do it as like a throw-in, a bonus, and it's a nice little surprise, you know, that they don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit above and beyond. And sometimes it's, you know, I might have like the idea before we even start the project, like, okay, I know that we're gonna be adding this in. Sometimes it's spur of the moment, and you come up with an idea while you're on site, and it's like, you know, this isn't gonna take that long. Let's throw this in. It's gonna make them happy. So I actually have 2 examples of this from our project that we just finished.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Number 1, we did the TV wall, and we did some built-in shelves on it, and I thought it would be really cool if we did some LED lighting underneath of these floating shelves. And I came up with that idea. I ran it by him. I said, hey, what do you think about doing we did LED lighting underneath of these shelves. He was like, I love it. Love the idea. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it in. Not even going to cost you nothing. And I looked at it as, this is going to be cool. I'm excited about it. We haven't done this exact thing before. It's going to be a cool picture. It's going to create some cool content. You know, we're going to get stuff out of it too, and we're going to have fun doing it. And the client's going to feel like, hey, I got something a little bit extra that I didn't have to pay for, that they could have just very easily just not done. I wasn't expecting it, and they were really happy about it.
Yeah.
Number 2 is one thing that they wanted us to try and do was that they had a butterfly bush that we were going to try to save and replant. And, you know, the project just took a long time, and you know, we couldn't really get it replanted in time, and it ended up dying. And, you know, we got them a new butterfly bush that we put in the new landscape beds that we created. But I just thought, you know what, here's another opportunity to go above and beyond. Usually we charge to do sod after we're done, depending on, you know, how much ground disturbance we do. We always include topsoil and seed, and then we have an extra square foot price for sod. So we did 500 square feet of sod for them, which would be $750. We only charge $1.50 a square foot for sod install, because it's a nice thing for our pictures as well. I was like, you know what? I want to just do this for them. I'm going to do the sod and not going to charge them. So I said, you know what? Kind of drop the ball with your butterfly bush that you wanted to save. And because of that, we're going to do the sod for you, and we're not going to charge you. And they thought it was great. They thought it was really great. They were really appreciative, really happy about it. And it was a simple, kind of easy thing for us to do. It didn't cost a whole bunch of money. We were there anyway, and we threw it in, and now the backyard's done. There's not a mud pit on the one side of the house. So it was just a little thing that we could do that I think they really appreciated. And I bet if I said, here's a link to leave us a review, I bet they would, and I bet it would be really good.
Yeah.
So
above and beyond.
To infinity and beyond is what
Infinity
is the saying,
and beyond.
Catherine. Yeah.
That's what we do for our customers.
We try.
For our
we
people.
Try our best. We try our best. Unless you give a little bit too much input into the design, then I say, I'm done. I'm done.
And then
I'm
you
checked
completely
out
lose
mentally.
interest.
I am totally done. So, yeah. Watch yourselves, people. All right. Do you have anything else to add to your little experience there?
No.
No?
That's
Okay.
it. That's all I got.
All right. My next one is not in construction. Not
okay.
in remodeling.
Is it also your cleaning people?
It's not. I think we've already talked about this, but I would hate to get that text because, you know, having the cleaning people is great. This actually sounds so entitled and privileged. God, I can't stand having the cleaning people because you got to clean the night before they come.
You just have to
Stuff's gotta be
straighten.
I can't stand it. I'd rather just live in complete squalor on my own time.
I love
I just, it's some sort of traumatic experience from my childhood, having the cleaning people. And I got so good at stuffing every single thing I own into the closet and being able to shut the door that I just always hated it. It was like, cleaning lady's coming tomorrow. And, you know, I always hated that. Always hated that. I hate straightening up. I hate it. Anyway.
It's okay.
I think we've talked about that before. So, all right, my next example is in the food service industry.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Chick-fil-A.
No.
They say my pleasure instead of you're welcome.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't need that. Because whenever they say it, they just look dead in the eyes. You know?
I always wonder if that transfers
Behind
to their
the
personal
eyes.
life. If they're like, you know, their spouse hands them something and they're like, thank you. My pleasure. Oh, dang it.
Probably, yeah.
You know,
definitely.
like you can't, it's probably something you can't shake at a certain point.
Oh, no. It's just ingrained in you. Yeah, anytime they say my pleasure, it just looks like they're, like, behind the eyes, there's nothing. It's just like a shell. It's like they're all in a cult. Like, that's the look in their eyes.
Yeah.
Next time you're there, look in their eyes.
I will.
There's nothing there.
I can see that though, because they never mess up. They never say you're welcome. It's always my pleasure. I've never been like, oh,
Gotcha.
No, it's every single time. It's like robotic.
Yeah. They might be robots. Anyway, no, this is not a chain place. It's a little mom and pop pizza place I like.
Domino's.
Domino's, yeah. It is the one and only Domino's Pizza. It's like my favorite pizza place.
No boy.
I don't know why. It's just, it's Domino's Pizza is its own genre. You can't say like, it's not comparable to other pizza. It's a totally different thing. You know what I mean? And I just love it. I love other, more artisan pizzas as well, I guess. But there's something about a Domino's thin crust pizza that just does it for me. I love it.
It's your comfort food. That's fine.
Exactly. It's my comfort food. And the thing about Domino's, the app, you know exactly where your pizza is at in the stage of ordering it to getting it at your house. And you can track it the whole time. So you place the order on the app. They make it super easy. They say, okay, we got your order.
Ronaldo's putting your pizza in the oven as we speak.
Exactly. And then, Bonnie does a quality check. And then, Rodrigo is delivering your pizza. And you could track them with GPS. You can see where they're coming. And it's just...
can you? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And not every car is equipped with this technology. Most delivery drivers, you will have that possibility. But
that's funny.
It's just this... I think as consumers now, we want to know... We just want to be informed. We don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want someone to talk to us and tell us that. But we want the information. We want to know, like you order a regular pizza and it's like, maybe it's 20 minutes, maybe it's 45 minutes, maybe it's an hour sometimes. But you never know. They might tell you at a time, it'd be like 40 minutes. I feel like they're never right. This, you could track the whole thing.
Yeah.
If a regular pizza place had that, you could be like, oh, okay. Well, it's just coming out of the oven, so it's going to be at least minimum another 10 minutes. You know this whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's you know what to expect. The communication is there. You're informed throughout the whole process.
Do you think it's real though? Like, do you really think that Bonnie's doing her quality check for 5 minutes?
Are you trying to say that Bonnie's not doing her job? Bonnie,
I just don't like. What do? They like. They're like, all right, I got a quality check this. Hang on, I got to log it into my app real quick. And then they go back to quality checking. All right, I'm done quality checking now. I got to, hold on. I got to log that into my app.
I don't know what you're trying to do here. Are you trying to
I hate to say it, but I think it might be
system?
I think it might be an automated timed thing. I could be wrong. I hate to do it to you, but no matter what, even if
No,
it's
they
a placebo
wouldn't do
effect,
that.
it still gives you that sense of what you want. So what's the difference?
I hadn't considered that. No, that can't be. It can't be. Because sometimes the quality check might take a little bit longer. Because the quality check might be done, but it doesn't go to the next phase until someone has it in their car. So it's not like the quality check takes 5 minutes. The quality check probably takes 1 second.
I could see that happening. Like, because the delivery driver probably has some sort of code that he's scanning on the pizzas to know where to go. Like, he scans it in, and then it goes to his GPS, and the GPS tells him where to take it. I could see that.
Okay.
That could be a real thing. But up until that point, I'm out. I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
I hadn't considered that. Nonetheless, it makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah,
it's a
placebo effect. It's great.
Informed. It makes me feel like I know where my pizza's at. My pizza's not lost out there somewhere. My pizza is in the oven right now. I know.
Domino's has it handled.
They do. So, man, you really threw me off with this.
I'm so sorry.
I don't even know what's real anymore. But the point is still the point. People want to be informed. They want to know what's happening.
True.
So I don't think that you can, to an extent, you can't really over communicate with anybody when you're dealing with service industry, food service, modeling, like anything that you're dealing with other people as the client. I don't think that you can over communicate.
I agree. I think communication, I feel like that's like if anybody's going to get anything from this podcast, it's that you should communicate with everybody all of the time.
And we just talk about that a lot. Yeah, I just, you really threw me for a loop there.
First
off, how dare you? But anyway, I just, I think that is probably, the other thing there is like the McDonald's thing. Like, no matter where you go, anywhere in the world, you get a McDonald's cheeseburger, tastes the same. Same thing with Domino's pizza. You know what you're getting. You know what to expect. And they always deliver. The expectations always match the result.
I had McDonald's in Italy, and it was way better than American McDonald's.
That's what everyone says, but that's... We're like, oh, no, you got it.
I had to say it.
You got it. It's totally different.
I had a chicken wrap, and it had
they don't
real
have those
Parmesan cheese on it. Like, shaved Parmesan cheese, not like little crumbly, shake cheese or whatever. It was like real. It was good. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
It's like...
All right.
It's probably exactly the same.
It's not. You gotta try it. I wish I'd brought some home for you to try.
Did they have a farm out back? Were they raising their own cows there?
The one I was at was actually, I didn't see any cows, but it was kind of like in a farming area, so maybe.
I don't think so. I hate to burst your bubble here, but anyway.
All right. Oh, you got final thoughts? Go ahead. Keep going.
That's all I got on Domino's is the communication, the
your heart is no broken.
My heart's a little bit broken, but it's just the idea of setting the expectation, keeping the buyer, the client informed throughout the whole process, and then you get a nice little text when it's delivered, and they say, "Hope you're enjoying your pizza." What could be better? I think it's from Mr. Domino himself or Mrs. Domino. I'm not sure.
They're so thoughtful. It's okay.
Yeah, but I guess the whole. I think the common thread here is a lot of it is communication. Communicating in a really informative way, almost over-communicating, setting expectations, checking in, all that kind of stuff, and then going the extra mile. Once you've done that, you've set the expectation, you've communicated it to the 10th degree, and then you go a little bit above and beyond.
Yes.
We just figured out the secret sauce to a perfect company. Set the expectation, communicate it, and then over deliver. Boom.
There it is.
I think I think we're on to something.
All right. It might be time for you to write your book. Your guru book.
Oh, definitely. Did we come up with a name for that? I feel like we did.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you this week. Go back and listen to every episode that we've recorded. I said it somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah, you did.
But anyway.
Okay. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, You
All
ready?
Right, well, yeah, I think I am ready here. For the hard-working happy hour trivia segment of this podcast. One more thing that I do want to actually touch on before we get into this is, because we were going to talk a little bit more about reviews and how we kind of interpret them and how we use them, and we don't have to talk about it too much. But the one thing that I always look for throughout all these, whenever I'm looking for somebody to hire or whatever, is look at the reviews, usually on Google, and I always go to lowest review first. Because there's always going to be at least a couple negative reviews, and see how they responded to those people.
Oh, see how they responded. That's a good one. I usually go most recent, but that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I would start there.
Okay,
I'm not even going to click on it unless it's we got like a 4.5 or above. But then once I do, you got somebody with a 4.7. There's a couple 1-star reviews in there at least. You go to those, you see what happened. Was it just a crazy person? There's a lot of crazy people. So, make sure you respond to those negative reviews.
That's a great takeaway. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Now I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Hit the music again. No, that's okay. Let's just get into it.
I think we're still tied forever.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first? Okay.
You go first.
All right, Sean. Bridges.
Bridges?
Ever heard of them?
Uh-uh.
All right. So there's lots of different kinds of bridges, but most are built with steel.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid building product, widely used. But there's lots of different kinds of steel. So, when it comes to bridges, the most widely used type of steel on bridges is stainless steel. True or false?
False.
Correct.
Yeah. What is it, just like regular steel?
Carbon steel.
Okay. Yeah,
stainless steel is used in
Costs like $600 billion to build a bridge. Stainless steel is so expensive.
It's the best. It's really it staves off corrosion and stuff, so they do use it in coastal areas. However, the most commonly used is carbon steel.
All right, 1 for 1 over here. Thank you so much. All right, here's my question for you.
Okay.
True or false? The first edition of the IBC, International Building Code, was published in the year 2000.
For some reason, I think it's like 1990, but maybe 2000 is correct. No, I'm going to go true.
It is true. I can't believe you got that one right. I was really shocked to read that the first edition of the International Building Code was the year 2000. Like, what?
They didn't care before that.
They didn't care at all.
Everyone was just freestyling.
Everyone was just, it was the Wild Wild West. I wish we could go back to those times, because we'd still do a good job. I don't know. There was probably still inspections and stuff. I don't know. But I was interested to hear that. I couldn't believe it. So,
gosh, if there wasn't code, but there were still inspections, can you imagine how annoying that would be? Because that would just be completely up to whatever.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, that screw's not blue."
I don't like that.
You gotta have a blue screws. Why?
Oh, I said I like blue screws last time. I changed my mind. Red
screws this time. All right. Anyway, get to the next one.
Okay, so we were talking about customer reviews.
Yeah.
And you know how you go on the internet. You can look up anybody's customer reviews. You get some sort of percentage of happy customers. Home Depot as a whole, not just an individual location, but Home Depot as a whole on the internet. What is their total satisfaction score as a percentage out of 100? A, 62. B, 70. C, 79. Or D, 86. And this is good, like in a customer satisfaction kind of way.
I'm going to say 86.
Incorrect. 79.
Still pretty good, I guess. 4 out of 5 people would recommend.
Yeah. I kind of thought it would be less. I feel like when something's so widely used, people are going to be out there being like, Home Depot forgot my one piece in that box.
I went there to buy a home and they didn't even have any.
They don't sell those.
What the hell? Yeah, but these numbers are probably doctored a little bit anyway. So,
Yeah.
That's why I went on the high side. But
They got the big money. They could go on the internet and finagle a couple things.
Oh, yeah, they got a guy for that.
right, go
All right. You've heard of ASTM, correct? ASTM 57 stone. You know, we
Yes.
talked about this
We
last
did
week
this,
a
yeah.
little bit. Yep.
Yeah. We're
So
back on this?
It's not the same question, if that's what you get. What does ASTM stand for? Is it... I only have 3 here.
Okay.
Couldn't think of
It's like making
of
up
3
for it.
figures.
Got it.
Yeah. American Society for Testing and Materials, Average Strength Threshold Measurement, American Standard for Trade and Measurement.
B.
No. Wrong! It's the American Society for Testing and Materials.
That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? It's the American Society for Testing and for
What?
Materials. It should really be American
That's so
Society for Material Testing.
It
That
shouldn't
would
be
make more
an
sense.
American society at all. It's a metric.
Well,
Why is it what is a society like? Sure, maybe the society creates the metric, but like the name of that being used is like a.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah.
That's like being like I have an American Cancer Society score of 7. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. When you put it that way, well, you're still wrong. So don't be a sore
All right.
loser. All right.
I am.
All right.
a
What do you
little.
got for
That's
the
a
last
stupid
question?
name. Stupid.
I kind of agree with you. I rarely do. So it's saying something.
All right. So recently we had our dear sweet plumber Frank come and he gave you a bit of advice. And he said, well, not advice. You asked him for a tip, and he gave you a tip, and he told you what the difference between a P trap and an S trap is. Sean, in your words,
Yep.
give me the difference between a P trap and an S trap.
You shit on the floor and you pee on the wall. You got an S trap is in the floor and a P trap's on the wall.
But why? What's the difference?
What is the difference? What's the difference? What is the difference? We got an S, so that's like a double helix. Was that not a good enough answer?
I'll give it to you because
Okay.
that is what he said.
It is.
You pee on the wall or whatever.
Yeah. I don't personally. Me? I try not to do that. It's rude. Somebody's gonna have to clean it up. The cleaning ladies, they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. I don't need Sarah getting a text from the cleaning ladies. Hey, Sarah, I think your husband's been peeing on the wall. We're gonna have to charge more. Thanks.
It is an upcharge for the wall pee.
Oh,
but,
speaking of being covered in pee,
okay.
while we're on the topic, I forgot to put a Maxworth pull-ups to bed. Just
out here airing his laundry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to put one on him last night. He woke up at like 4 a.m. He like the amount that he was covered in pee, like everywhere. I felt so bad.
Poor kid.
I know. So I got him up, got him changed, everything like that, and then they said, "All right, come into our bed." After
Don't
he
pee.
changed the well, then I put a pull-up on. I felt so bad.
Oh.
But my God, the amount of liquid that he can pee out in like 8 hours, unbelievable. All right. Okay, last question.
I thought we were done.
Nope.
Okay.
What is added to concrete that is a replacement for Portland cement and is considered an environmentally friendly alternative?
Cinder.
Is that your final answer?
I feel like that's such a vague question. Like, there's lots of concrete additives.
As a replacement,
It's like a
Portland
1-for-1
cement.
replacement for Portland.
It's a replacement for Portland. I'm just gonna need an answer. We don't need all this about the question itself, okay? The question is not meant to be questioned. I need an answer, not another question, okay?
All right, I'm going Cinder Ash. I don't know. This is too vague of a question.
No, it's not too vague of a question, and I don't really know what cinder ash is, but I'm feeling like a nice guy today. I'm going to give it to you. It's fly ash or slag, as they call
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Is that a synonym for that?
Yes,
fly
I am.
ash is also
Yes.
called cinder ash. I never heard of that.
I think it's just
But-
cinder is what people say, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, great job. We tied again.
Tied
Look at that. Oh. Who would've thought? All right. Well, that was fun. the whole episode and that nice little game we just played. But, you know, we talked about a lot. We talked about customer experience, and it's always interesting to reflect on the experiences that you have as a consumer or as a client, and really be cognizant of what about an experience that you go through, because you don't get as much experience being on the opposite end of it. You know, most of the time you're the one being hired, not you hiring somebody else. So really being cognizant of what makes the experience good, what makes the experience bad, or what makes the experience just kind of okay. Like, what are some things that that company could have done to make your experience better? And if you start trying to like recognize these things, you'll start to see common threads like we just talked about: communication, expectations, going the extra mile. And the more aware of these things you are as the consumer, because it's easier to put yourselves in your own shoes when you're dealing with a service or a contractor than trying to see things from your client's perspective, because that's always kind of jaded. It's you have your own kind of clouded perspective on what experience you're giving people. But when you're the one experiencing it, if you're really aware of how the experience went and what were the parts of it that were good or bad, you can pull those things out and you can try to implement them more. And some of it you might say, hey, we already do a lot of this. That's really good. I loved how they did that. And you know what? Now I'm reflecting on it, we do a lot of that. Like, go the extra mile. We always try to do that. But with communication, expectation setting, we try to do that as well. I think that is an area where we could definitely improve a lot. So I'm thankful that I'm trying to be aware of these things, trying to pull some really actionable things from my personal experiences and roll them right into business. That's all I got for you. What do you think? Oh, the crowd, they're back. We must have really put them to sleep for a while there. Sorry about that, y'all. Well, anyway, that's it for this week. As always, we do love you. And until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.